fascinating for his 4 frames. Great stuff from O'Sullivan, but also equally brilliant dish from Mark Williams in the last frame to level it at 2 apiece.
Touching ball.
Referee Leo Scullion has called touching ball, so Ronnie can just play away somewhere behind the yellow, tight to the ball cushion as possible if you can. Just makes it a bit more difficult for Mark Williams. It's pretty good.
Got to be a little careful here in this swerve, because if it's too thick, he could end up nearly kissing the blue. And that's why he played it very, very fine. And this red on the outside of the pack will pot.
Sullivan, 4.
So I didn't expect him to miss them.
Eight. Nine.
The red at the bottom of the pack will go. Again, nice angle after this black. Like to be a little bit low on the red, so when potting it, be able to bring more reds into play. So you must stay low on this red if you can. Let's just run away slightly. Okay, he's on the red. Well, a little grimace from Ronnie. He may have to swerve it. Is he on it? Looks like you can just swerve it slightly. A little bit aside. Yeah, just about.
17.
Not ideally on the black.
It's amazing to think, Ken, with the old balls years and years ago before you and I even played, that shot wasn't on. The ball didn't transfer side. But of course now you can turn a ball over. Ronnie's shaking his head because he got a very big bounce off the cushion.
Thank you. 25.
This is one of those shots. He's got to arc the cue ball off the top cushion. Lots of top spin. Try and split the reds here. This is a shot.
Yes, if he gets any one of those 2 reds above the black full ball, he'd be on nothing, so he needs a half ball contact on one of those. Hit it full ball. Well, he's been lucky. Whenever you hit them full, you see, it just deadens the white, and of course, if he's got on this one, he's been very fortunate.
Well, it was a miscue. That's why we'll look at this for a shot. Well done. Well, trying to get the cue ball tight on the cushion here. Just a miscue there. Balls are so close together. Very difficult shot, aren't they, Will?
Well, the thing is, you're trying to get your cue out of the way so you don't hit the white twice. And of course, he was getting his cue out of the way before he hit it. There's obviously one on. Oh, that's a horrible kick. The good news is it's gone in, but when you consider the white, he's played top side of the blue. That kick has took 3 foot of pace out of the cue ball.
Yeah, you could hear it the minute he made contact with the red. Blue into the green pocket. Well played. Good shot. Perfectly on the red.
6.
Mark obviously knows how well Ronnie O'Sullivan is
7.
playing, and also know how much it'll hurt O'Sullivan. And because we know O'Sullivan's temperament can sometimes be a little fragile, if Mark can keep hurting him by pinching frames when he's looked like he's got a chance, like he did in the 4th frame, okay, he's 30 in front there, Ronnie, and was
14.
going well. If Mark can keep punishing him with counterattack clearances, this will really, it could change Ronnie's demeanour.
15. $21. $22.
Yeah, the red just above the pink does
29.
pot. I'm just wondering whether he can pot in this, just flick into the bunch of reds and try and bring another red into play.
30.
Yeah, it wasn't the ideal angle, was it, on the black? Just had to force it in.
37.
Looks like end of break.
Mark Williams, 37.
It's pretty good. And safety. And length of cue ball. That was a great shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. This is a tricky shot. Got to avoid the pink here. Well played.
Can play this pot, and amazingly enough can go around the back of the black and also in between that pink and red on the left hand side, so he can play this as a shot to nothing. But because he hit it so thin, and that's the first poor shot that Ronnie's played, I think, in this match. And how much of control he's been in so far, but obviously because Mark Williams has been doing what he does best, pinching frames, just puts that little bit of extra pressure on that kind of shot from Ronnie. can play this very, very thin and get behind the green, and this would be a telling one if he finds the top cushion, because the brown would cover the red on the left-hand side. If he finds the top cushion, he could snooker him on all reds here. Close. But no cigar.
Foul and a miss. Mark Williams, 4.
Well, I think it could be a free ball, so
Free ball.
if it is, he'll take the brown in the middle.
Make sure it's off.
So Mark Williams is now the favourite to take a 3-2 lead. You should expect him to take the next 2 reds and 2 blacks without any problem. The red nearest the right-hand pocket, the one that's on the cushion, if the black's on its spot, there's no real problem.
Five. Thank you.
Yeah, 9 points ahead, so he'll be having a look at the scoreboard, doing his calculations. After this black, another 3 reds and 3 blacks, and Ronnie will require snookers. So you won't need that red that's closest to the left centre.
12.
Got to be a bit careful there. He got down very quick and his shirt was almost touching the red. Referee keeping an eagle eye on that. And it looks from that picture like he's touching it, and obviously because he's wearing a black shirt he won't, because referee Hughes Killian was very, very close to the work there. Excellent shot.
18.
And we know that this red will cling to the cushion, so he's just got to play it slow, but the key thing here is to get top side of the black. 22 in front, needs one more red and colour after this.
19.
Well, he can't get on the red behind the black, so I'm going to try and get as close to this red to the left centre as possible. Get right behind it so he can just drop it in.
26.
30 points ahead, so red and blue will be enough.
27.
Certainly no heroics on blue, he'd be just dropping it in. Blue will put him 36 points ahead, with just 35 remain on the table.
Well, you have to top your cap really, the way that Mark Williams has held himself together in this, on these first 5 frames, because he's been, you know, punched and kicked and still stood there, and all of a sudden he's now going to take a 3-2 lead buying snookers.
Well, a good chance for Ronnie here. He could pot the red here.
One.
And the yellow is in a good position because that pink has crept up the cushion. If he gets close enough to this yellow, he can knock it around the table and get the cue ball right behind the pink. So he must get close enough to this yellow. He needs an angle to be able to knock it around the table. Screw the cue ball directly behind the pink here.
Just got to make sure and kiss the brown though, hasn't he? Oh, he's concentrated so hard on missing the kiss on the brown with the yellow. I did expect him to get there, Ken, didn't you?
Yeah, it was just the distance between cue ball and yellow. Wanted to get a lot closer. Would have made it much more easier for him. he'd be disappointed with that, Mark Williams. Gives the advantage again to Ronnie O'Sullivan. He will pot this yellow, no doubt.
2.
Now, good chance. Green up the table. Stun the cue ball in behind Brown.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 2.
It's a snooker, but it's not good enough. Not that it'll be tight behind that Brown. Mark Williams has got an easy escape. Again, may elect to take the green.
Three.
His timing seems to have gone off a little bit there because he's played to screw that back to get the other side of the Brown. But he's played
This
a
looks
shot
good.
there.
This looks good, Willie. What a shot! Excellent shot from O'Sullivan. And we saw in the first round he laid a couple of brilliant snookers, and this is another one.
Mark Williams shaking his head going around the table. We saw that in the first frame, as Ken mentioned.
Well, this is a possible escape route just before the middle pocket. Back across the table and then try and lay on the Brown. The fact that the Brown is close to the top cushion just makes it a little bit easier, but boy, he's going to have to produce a great shot to even hit it here.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
And the Brown is perfect. Just leave the cue ball where the Brown is. He'll have another snooker here. Oh, that's poor. He's got the Brown safe.
Well, he's got choice of shots here. He can either play the clip or even play the snooker behind the pink. Or is it Mark's turn to play a good snooker? Not this time. Well, these cushions are very, very lively. That flew off the cushion again. Now Mark Williams only needs the Brown. It's amazing, Ken, isn't it, when you need one ball, how you see in-offs. The in-off, the middle's on if he doesn't be careful.
Yeah, I think he might be screwing this in because you said, as you said, it's a natural in-off, so maybe trying to screw the Brown, avoid going anywhere near the right centre. Judged it okay.
4.
And it'll be a very relieved Mark Williams having a few moments ago been tight behind the pink and having missed the snooker. Luckily Ronnie played a poor safety shot.
Mark Williams, 4. Mark Williams,
Well,
5
the Welsh potting
and
machine has inflicted another defeat on Ronnie O'Sullivan in a frame there. So Mark Williams takes the lead for the second time this match. This time it's 3-2.
Well, fascinating so far, and there's another frame that has so many twists and turns within it, and really I suppose the root of Ronnie's problems could be traced back to that loose shot he played in the middle.
Yes, Ronnie had potted red, stuck himself in the middle of the pack, and you remember he had to reach over sort of freestyle and try and knock the black. But the damage was done with this shot because critically he had to get the black safe on the top cushion, the cue ball safe on the top chin, John, didn't he? And it was, even though it would have been difficult with the long rest to get over the top, he perhaps could have taken a bit more care on that shot. Mark Williams got back in that frame. All of a sudden, Ronnie O'Sullivan was on the back foot from half a careless safety shot, even though it was awkward bridging.
What do you make of the way that Mark has taken these chances? It has been quite interesting to see Ronnie fighting at the end there for Snookers, and I guess that's something that maybe a few years ago might not have been top of the list of components of his game, but both he and Mark are giving everything, it would appear.
Yeah, and I'm liking Williams' demeanour around the table. We used to say it about him when he was playing properly, he was in float mode. He used to float round the table looking very relaxed, and he looks like he's in that as well. It's the best I've seen Mark looking for a long time. Yeah. And considering he's got such a poor record against Ronnie, that's good for him.
It's been an interesting few days for Mark Williams. Obviously, his comments on Twitter, and incidentally, he has now closed down that Twitter account, having made comments about the venue and been, I think, widely criticised by all the street here in Sheffield for them. But, you know, he's had a lot on his plate to deal with here, hasn't he?
I think other people would have perhaps taken it a bit, that they may have gone into their shell a bit with a little bit, a little bit of booing when he walked out. It's not going to make any difference to Mark. Obviously, he can't be allowed anywhere near a Twitter account. It's too dangerous. But,
the thing is, anyway, Hazel, he'll be very happy because the divide and wall's gone up, so he's got one table to himself anyway today. So.
That's a good point, yes. Certainly room to swing those elbows.
Very good. Enjoyed that little chat. Are you a Twitter account?
Do I have a Twitter account? Send the odd tweets, Lee. Do you tweet, Willie?
No, the office does.
I know you eat sweets. What do you tweet?
Afraid I don't understand all this technology. I have enough trouble with a microphone and a commentary box. He's just saying to his friends in the balcony, as it were, that was close. I got within 6 inches. You saw him gestising the distance he missed that pot by. There he is, scratching his head, and then he kind of gestises that he's just pointing his fingers there how far he missed it by. This red's on in the middle, and it may be worth the risk because he can lay a telling snooker. Doesn't get onto a colour nicely. Still played both. Played the snooker and the pot. Looking at the gap between blue and pink. Looks tight.
Foul. Miss.
Let's hope he gets on a red here. I don't fancy having to replace these. Could everybody in the audience remember where all those reds were?
Love to ask Ronnie to say to the referee, put them back, please.
Mentioned a little bit earlier that these reds along the top cushion do cling. So, funny enough, he could play the red along the top cushion if he wants to. He'd be guaranteed. This one's a bit tricky. Well, he played it in such a way, he thought it was going to be a shot to nothing, but unfortunately for him, the red that he tried to pot in the middle has sprung out into open play. Now, if Mark Williams was cueing as well as he normally does, these kind of reds were his favourites, but his long game today hasn't been up to scratch. That's a bit more like the Welsh potting machine. Unfortunately, it's not on the colour.
Mark Williams, 1.
It was amazing, that last shot, Woody. For all the world, it looked like it was cue ball was going to hit the black. If we get a chance to see it again, we'll just see the side just pulling the cue ball towards the red. Really, Mark would love to get over to the left-hand side of the table behind yellow, green and brown, but he can't do that from this position. Had it been touch and ball, it would have been straight forward, so that's why he's gone over to the right-hand side of the table. You can use the blue as a blocker for these reds here, so up somewhere near the green pocket and using the blue as a blocker. Well, he's tried to get over with a little bit of side. It's not a bad attempt.
There's a couple of reds there that may be close to a plant, but Ronnie's not entertaining them, and needs that cue ball to pull off a little bit rapid. What happened there? I thought it actually was going to stop it with his cue, and all of a sudden it's Jordan stayed there. I took my eye off the white. And Mark's got no safety shots, so he's just going to roll into them.
Short.
And quite a few inches short.
Brian Sullivan, 4.
No way he's haven't put back, because he knows that Mark Williams will get the weight right next time, and he has got a great chance of getting behind green and brown. Here's the cue ball. I thought it was all in the pocket, and all of a sudden stick there. Well, he is putting it back. How strange.
Well, I suppose the only reason he's going to put it back is that if he's short again, then the referee will warn him, so he'll still have the same shot red even if he touches the reds here. So similar position to what Mark Williams had a couple of shots ago. Mark Williams tried to get down behind the green, but Ronnie may use the blue here as the blocker.
like to hit this very thin, then he's got a chance of getting behind green and yellow, but it's tough to play this thin. The fact that it's slightly thicker has left his red on. Mark won't have a lot of idea where the cue ball is going to end up. If it kisses the blue on the way back, it's okay, because it'll be on yellow and green, and if it doesn't, he's just going to have to hope to get the cue ball in and out of baulk. Now he needs a bit of help.
One.
A thin kiss on the blue would be perfect, but it's not, so he's got a little bit of work to do.
Mark Williams, 1.
Well, I didn't see that one coming. You'd expect somebody of Mark's class to knock this in, but it doesn't appear to have got on his desired red. His long potting is very, very poor, considering he's one of the best long potters in the game. Might get right in behind the brown here. There's just enough room to get him in that brown. That's what he tried, just a little bit too thick.
Picked that one out nice. Nice kiss on the brown. It can put Ronnie in a lot of trouble here.
Mark Williams, 1.
Yeah, possible escape from Ronnie. He's got to be very careful. This cue ball could go close to the black. Well played. Well played.
Not straightforward, this safety. The fact that the black's where it is, it stops that safety shot off the edge of the reds to take the black into baulk from that way round. Maybe forced into taking this pot on. Doesn't want to have to take it on, but there's no clear way back into baulk. Well, he's taking it on, and he hasn't cued well for a couple of frames. But boy, how well did he cue that, and in fairness, deserved the kiss on the pink. Deserved the kiss, a beautiful shot.
It's so difficult to cue off the side cushion. Boy, did he cue that well. It's not the best shot from Ronnie. He wanted to try and get, didn't want to touch those reds, wanted to try and get in the gap of them. Try and get on a couple of reds into this bottom corner pocket. Now, we've seen these shots, they normally hit the near jaw here. They've fallen away to the near jaw. He's got to hit it to the high side. And he's done that, and he's done it very well.
Yeah.
seen a lot of players this week have missed a lot of shots into the middle pocket on the near side because the balls have seemed to fall to the near side of the middle pockets, but judged it very well. Oh, that was a great shot. A bit of pressure on that. Cued it wonderfully well.
14. $15.
Too far for the pink. It's okay on the blue, but just one good positional shot now.
$20. $21.
Well, has he gone too far? Has he gone too far for this pink into the left centre? It's very, very tight. It just helped it in with a little bit of side. A bit of left-hand side. Wasn't on that full ball.
27.
It also helped, Ken, didn't it, what you mentioned there? This table seems to be playing it off the top draw, and that made that shot a little easier, but played very well.
28.
And having been kept off the table for quite some time, he's started to get back into stroke again.
$34. $35.
Oh, we had a bout of really top quality safety in beginning of this frame for a good 10 minutes, but it took an excellent pot from O'Sullivan to get this going.
41. 42.
Just slightly under hit that, may have to come on and off the cushion, and of course you've got to be a bit careful if you play it that way that you get past the pink spot, because he could snooker himself. And that's why he's played an alternative positional shot to make sure that couldn't happen. So it's 54 in front.
48.
So red and blue are above. I don't believe Mark Williams needed a snooker. Well, he did that in the first frame, Ken. Frame ball, he missed it.
Yeah, quite surprising. There's a couple of shots, frame ball as you said, and he's thrown another lifeline to Mark Williams.
1.
He's got a good angle on the blue. Needs to judge this just by the pink. There's the angle, just avoid the pink and into the blues and into the reds, and that's just about perfect. He's on the red, but he's a little bit straight on it.
6.
Would have loved to have brought the black into play as well.
Didn't quite catch your joint, Ken, did he? If he hit them in the middle as you put the line up, hit them both together, would have pushed that red away from the black.
7.
Just caught it slightly thick. So Ronnie appears to have a chance of getting back to the table.
Yeah, too straight on the pink there, wasn't he? He didn't really have the angle to try and disturb these reds, so
13.
Well, funny enough, he can swing it round 3 cushions and get in behind brown and yellow here. Just wanted to bring
Mark
no
Williams,
reds
13.
into play. O'Sullivan, of course, would want not to bring reds into play either. I'm surprised that Mark didn't miss that safety shot, because he wants the reds in play. O'Sullivan didn't want them in play.
Foul. Mark Williams, 4. Thank you.
Just coming round to look at the plant. Obviously, O'Sullivan, you don't expect him to play that to going off. It's not easy to get in behind brown and yellow here, even if it is a plant.
The only thing Mark pretty worried about is knocking red into the, or over this bottom left-hand corner pocket. He could try and make the plant, but unless he gets it, he may leave it, and that's just what he's worried about here. And also he's got to play it with a bit of pace, because should he miss it, he wants the red to come back across the table into a safe position. Yeah, that's just what he's a little bit scared of, and that's why he's put Ronnie back. Ronnie will come down and have a look at it, but as I said, he's got to be careful he doesn't leave a red on here.
Yeah.
This is all about where that red's going to end up, isn't it? The one he's playing the other red onto. Ronnie's insurance, of course, is where the green is, so whatever happens, he doesn't play anything that goes anywhere near the green. What a great effort. What a super effort. Oh, the green coming out would help. Ronnie O'Sullivan was very pleased to see that green stay where it is.
Tap on the table from Mark Williams, because Ronnie didn't want to cannon into those two reds, bring them into play there to the top cushion. He wants to keep them safe as long as possible. That's a clever little shot, making sure he finished right on top of the red so Ronnie couldn't clip off it. Now, as we've already discussed, this will cling to the cushion like glue if he plates the pot on. Yeah, it was careless from Ronnie. If he pots this, he can lay a really tight snooker in behind the black. Just have a look at this red. It's going to cling a couple of times to the cushion.
One.
Now he could be in trouble. Yeah, he's disappointed. It wasn't a great shot. Oh, and here, that's
Mark
careless
Williams,
as well.
black.
That's not a snooker. Should have been tight to that black. Just have a look at this red. Look, it's hit the cushion once, twice, 3 times.
Lady. Yeah, he saw Ronnie gesticulate with it, saying what a great shot that is, and he left the pot along the cushion. Ronnie can get through to this red. Not necessarily to pot it, but you can certainly get the cue ball right on this top cushion. He'd like to play the pot, but I don't think he can.
One. Six.
They appear to have a good angle on the blue there to play at pace, to bring either the green or red into play. I mean, this red is no give me, especially with the rest. They played a beautiful shot to bring the green into play and just gone round the back of it. Missed the green by the absolute fraction.
Mark Williams.
Well, he took the blue purposely to try and bring the brown and yellow into a better position for him to possibly pinch this frame, but might have been better just to drop the black in and to keep himself in the frame. Now he needs a snooker.
2.
In goes the double. That should now put the frame beyond doubt. 34 points ahead, only 22 remaining. And after a long bout of safety, another double on the brown. Yes.
Sullivan 9.
Yes.
And the frame.
Mark Williams gives the nod to referee Leo Scullion. He's had enough. And it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who levels again. It's 3 apiece.